Hello and welcome to Chopcast. This is episode, I think 10. It could be 9. I don't remember.
It's around there.
It's one of
Yeah.
those two numbers more than likely. If it's 11, you can come to my house and shoot me. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. I'll be waiting. But yeah, I.
Waiting patiently.
uh, but for those who are just joining for the first time, my name is Griffin. Sam to my right and Will to my butt. And yeah, we are not professionals in any way. We're not. We haven't, in terms of playing baseball. Last time I professionally played baseball was as a fourth grader. Which I was
Mhm.
highly recruited and whatever. Sam, similar story. Will,
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I actually fun fact, the youth organization in Atlanta where I played baseball last is where Freddie Freeman's son plays now.
Mm,
So
you
that's my
could have
connection
you could have had a chance.
What happened to you? What
there.
happened to you?
Oh man. Yeah, no, it's pretty surreal checking like Chelsea Freeman, that's Freddie's wife, obviously. Her like Instagram stories of him of Charlie like playing on the same fields that I played on. But yeah, that's my last experience with baseball. I wasn't too good.
Mm,
I cried a lot too.
yeah.
So yeah.
Will, what about
I
you?
proved the no crying in baseball thing very wrong.
Yeah. Show
Very
him.
wrong. Yeah, I stuck it to him.
Will,
Well, what was your
what
last
was your
experience?
yeah?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, my bad. I think I was like second grade or something.
Oh my
So
gosh,
it's been a little bit.
what a baby.
Um, Dude, I
I
know,
made it
I
2 more
know.
years
I
than
don't
you.
think it was all that great either. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, I was like the Billy Hamilton of my league. Like
So
fantastic at
fast.
running the bases, could field pretty well, could not hit at all,
Oh,
not in the
oh,
slightest. Um,
yeah.
that's what they called me. They called me the Billy Hamilton.
Griffin, Billy Hamilton ball.
Yeah, even though he was like a high schooler then, probably or something.
They already knew about him though.
hmm Um,
Mm-hmm.
but pretty wild series overall. The only really controlled game was the first one. In technical terms, we swept. We did
Mm-hmm.
lose the continuation of the game from like July, uh, solely on the shoulders of Will
Was
Smith's aching back. Um,
so bad. It was so
um,
predictable.
hmm But just to outline this series, starting with game one, 4-0 shutout. Um, Bats were working efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie and Soler didn't get a hit, but everybody else contributed.
Yeah,
And
we had Max Fried, obviously big story there. Complete game shutout. Love to see that. I think he only hit. Yeah, he got up to 98 strikes. So or
yeah,
98 pitches. So he wasn't even cracking 100. That's great to see. I mean, Fried has done that, I think, one other time this season.
hmm
Um, Obviously, when he's on, he's on. When that curveball's hitting, like, literally just unhittable.
hmm
So love to see it from Max.
or if you do hit it, it's just on the ground.
Yeah.
Got a ton of ground outs.
Mhm.
Game two, this was one of the wildest games of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mhm.
First half of the season, that's a loss. And I just loved us seeing us come back, even down to our last. I don't remember if it was last strike or just last out in general. Rosario putting us back in the mix. Soler is
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Mhm.
And
He, yeah,
starting pitcher was a Noah.
which was tough. I mean, he he went 4.2. Came out for obvious reasons after the grand slam. But yeah, 7 earned runs in no, about 5 innings, not even completely, is pretty rough. Uh, his ERA is approaching 4 right now, which you hate to see. I mean I don't know what y'all's thoughts on this are, but I feel like the surgery might have messed with him or something because he's just been looking really shaky lately. Uh, but to be fair, bullpen came in cleaned up very well. Chris Martin let up a run. He's been less reliable than most times, but yeah, he did well. Obviously, Luke Jackson's just god among men. Matzik, Rich Rod did well, so no complaints.
Game 3 was a lot wilder than it should have been. Really had it pretty controlled. I felt like we were winning that whole time until Jacob Webb decided to return to his glory days of sucking. Even though I do kind of put most of I put most of that when I went back and looked at the highlights. I feel like he got a little unlucky, and I don't know why Snicker let him stay out there for that long. 31 pitches.
Also Cronenworth's triple that I think tacked on 2 extra runs after the first one was like, you're right, it was a very lucky hit. It was out of the zone. He kind of scooped it out of there, so little you can do about that. But honestly, bullpen game, I mean, I think this is our second bullpen game in the last 2 series, and both have ended up going pretty well. Will Smith closed in probably the most clenching, absolute heart attack 9th inning I've seen him do. And obviously we've been there so much, but that was pretty tough to watch.
Yeah. I put on our story on our Instagram, right before that last out, I was like, no matter what happens here, Will Smith should never close a game for us again. And he got very lucky. He worked out of it. You give him props for not walking in the tying run at least. But that was just way more difficult than it needed to be. And the ump kind of bailed him out.
That's what I was going to say as well. The first 2 strikeouts were not strikeouts. Both the strike 3 calls were out of the box, but we'll take it. He worked 30-something? Yeah, he went up to 31 pitches in 1 inning. That's kind of inexcusable. That was 3 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, it's just so much more effort than you need to contribute to that situation. That was the most amount of pitches he's thrown in an inning all year. But overall, that game was crucial. Put us up 2.5 going into this series with the Phillies. Which is big, but is a little less big now, which I like.
I think as long if we win the series, I don't think there's a chance we miss the playoffs.
No,
they're actually because our magic number is 5, so
so that would do it. I think, or if we won 2, we'd have to just get 1 more.
We'd have to beat the Mets once or have the Phillies lose once.
Which the Mets are 1 for 9 in their last 10.
They've lost 5 in a row, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're collapsing. It's very hysterical.
It's funny. It's really funny because they really almost had a chance there and then just completely collapsed. 1-9 in your L10 is inexcusable, especially in September.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of 10 games ago, it was only a 5% chance. But still, they had a little bit of momentum after the Yankees series. But then the Phillies just put them down. But yeah, so that was this series in a little shorter term, but I really, for how gray hair inducing a lot of the parts of this series were, all of game 2 basically, and the second half of game 3, I really liked what I saw. This is what a team who deserves to be in October looks like.
I agree. And you can give the Padres all the shit you want. Yes, they've slumped really hard, but at the end of the day, they have one of the most impressive rosters in MLB. We just I think everyone showed up when they needed to. Will Smith, good example there. Obviously, loaded the bases, but he came in clutch towards the end. Soler just absolutely carried us in that 10-8 game. I think that was game 2 technically.
Yeah.
And then Max
Even
Fried.
despite the pod.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just gonna say, even despite the Padres roster, I mean, it's a big deal to sweep any team,
Yeah.
even if it's a
Yeah.
team like the Pirates.
Yeah.
Especially away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, yeah, for sure. Especially a place like I'm forgetting the name
Petco.
of their
It's Petco Park.
stadium. Yeah, Petco. I mean, that place is nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
it's completely insane.
Yeah. Even I think the Padres were eliminated from postseason contention after game 2. And even for game
Were they
3, like,
really?
their stands were still packed. So
Yeah.
pretty good atmosphere to win in.
They've got a pretty good fan base over the last couple of years. I mean, they've I think like up until 3 years ago, just at least growing up and paying attention to baseball when I did, like they was just like the most sorry franchise for a long
Yeah.
time because you're in the NL West, which is already hard enough as it is.
Mhm.
Because the Dodgers are going to be good every year. The Giants are going to be good 7 out of 10 years.
Mhm.
The Rockies have playoff pushes at times.
Yeah, they ebb and flow for sure.
Diamondbacks used to be good. But like I just remember like watching Braves games in 2016 or anything earlier than that, and whenever we'd go to the Padres or they'd come here, I'd just be very uninterested in the
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
opposing team. It's just
Yeah.
not much going on with them. But I felt bad because I mean when we got there, they were already effectively eliminated pretty much.
Mhm.
They had like a 0.5% chance or something. But
Yeah.
I really like the Padres. But I like the Braves a whole heck of a lot more.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, I think the biggest story out of Game 1 definitely is Freed just shutting them down.
Yeah.
He only got 4 strikeouts, but the way that he's been pitching recently, like he only got in his 90 pitch game against the Orioles, like that shutout, he only had 4 strikeouts then too. I think he had an equivalent amount of walks as well. This game he had no walks,
Mm.
and he only gave up
That's
3
crazy.
hits.
Yeah.
So I was looking at some stats about him in the second half of the season, and since the All-Star break, there's only one pitcher who has a better ERA than him, and that's Max Scherzer, who, since he's gotten to the Dodgers, has a sub-1 ERA.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable.
And I feel like it's gone really under the radar. Like he's not a Cy Young candidate by any means, based on like how he performed in the first half. But I was seeing those numbers really shocked me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he was kind of struggling in the first half, and when he'd do well, even at the beginning of the second half, he didn't go super long. But I remember us saying, like, when we commented on the Orioles series, how just a couple days before, Sam and I were saying that we didn't have any starters who could possibly throw a shutout at this point.
Yeah.
Which then Freed proved us wrong a couple of days later.
Very, very swiftly.
Yeah, and then now he did it again. He's just looking very, very efficient right now.
Perfect time too, especially getting into October.
Mm-hmm.
6 games left.
Well,
I
this
don't know.
Phillies series,
Yeah.
Yeah, this. I mean, I. So as long as we don't get swept, we'll still be up in the division after the Philly series.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that? Okay.
Yeah. If we only win one game, we'll be up a game and a half.
Okay.
the Phillies pretty much have to win too. I mean,
Yeah.
they pretty much have to for like a realistic chance.
Mm-hmm. Because they still they played one more game than we have at this point.
Would that like Rockies makeup game ever come into like? Would that be a factor in any case?
I think that's like if we are tied, or maybe if we're a half game up, then we'd have to play, or if we're a half game down. I think those are the situations.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Because they have played one more game than us because we did have to delay that Rockies game or postpone it.
Which seemed to be good for us because we were getting our shit rocked in
Yeah.
Colorado. Yeah.
Factoring that in, that doesn't really make me any shakier on that, because if we only win one game of the Phillies series, that'll make the Magic number 3. So I guess worst case scenario would be if we only won one of the Mets, and then where we'd have to play that game. There's a bunch of different situations I just thought in my head where that happens, but
overwhelming.
yeah. We should just win the Phillies series, and then we're not really to worry about things. If we lose the Phillies series, then I don't think, like I already said, I don't think anyone's gonna sweep in either direction. If that did happen to us, that's not good. Clearly,
not good at all. I think that would put us behind them if they swept us
by half
I think it would.
half a game. Yeah. And then we play the Mets, who are gonna want to spoil, and they play the Marlins,
yeah, they play the Marlins at
they play the Marlins, which they could do the same. But.
Yeah. At Miami, the Marlins are a lot better. I don't know if their record really shows that, but at least against the NL East, Philly went down to Miami a couple weeks ago and lost that series. The Mets did the same. I would think the Mets would be trying to get back at us or whatever and spoil. But they're just so bad right now. They are so bad.
Very lifeless organization.
And they're
that 13 game stretch against the Giants and Dodgers just really that just anchored them.
But I mean, you can't go they went 2-11, I think. You can't go 2-11 and say we deserve to be in the postseason.
No.
Yeah, you can't do that. And I think that just proves they aren't a postseason team if they're getting just absolutely demoed by real postseason teams.
The opposing
for Javi Baez.
The projected pitchers for the Mets in our series with them right now are Rich Hill, Cookie, and Stroman. Which Stroman's been one of the better pitchers in the NL East this year.
Yeah, but Cookie's been shitty, and I don't think Hill's been better.
Hill is kind of, it's like a bargain deal version of DeGrom, similar situation where he's putting up a 3-3 for them, and he's lost all of their starts, all of his starts for them. That's
oh my
stupid.
God.
They hate supporting. Supporting their pitchers. Yeah.
I think he's made the last game that I saw for them, which they lost against, or I can't remember. He didn't qualify for the win, at least. They couldn't do that for him if they had one, but he had made I think 7 starts for the Mets at that point. Or quality starts at least, and only 2 of those he gave more than 3 runs, but he lost all of those. Not even didn't qualify, just
lost.
Yeah,
that's so bad. That's just. Hopefully we can tap into that during our series with them, but obviously don't want to think too far ahead. So I think I'm correct in saying that if we sweep the Phillies, we clinch the NL East.
I mean,
almost certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
No, we're at 5. Yeah, we would do it.
We're 5. We would.
It would be 6 games.
You would? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we swept the Phillies, it's over. Which I'm planning on trying to go to that Thursday game.
It's at Truist?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Honestly, having that series at home is going to be massive. Is our Mets series at home too?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Griffin, you got to go to some of those games. That'd be
Yeah.
I would totally go.
Need
If
a
I was
reporter on the ground there, Griffin.
Yeah. Get people to see us from our Instagram and come talk to me, see how I'm doing and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
See how Sam's doing.
On West Coast time, yeah.
Not me though, not me.
Not Will.
No. Not Will at all.
To take the conversation back to me, as Will likes to say.
I listen now. I can speak.
I pretended to listen. Now I get to speak. Just looking back at the impressive Mets run recently. Since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Their last six. Oh, I clicked on something. On their last 16 games, they have won 3 times.
Oh, Lord. That's so bad.
And they scored from that 16th game. Here we go. They scored 1, and they scored 2, and they scored 3, and they scored 7, and lost that game. And then they scored 6, and then they scored 0, 6, 4, 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 4.
Yeah. So I mean, they hung a few crooked numbers there, but they still got a lot of ones and zeros.
It's when crooked numbers are 6 and 7 for your organization. It's so bad.
Like
and it's supposed to be
part
like
of me feels bad, but
no.
then again, you can't feel bad.
No. I was looking at their roster. You know Shawn Reed Foley?
Shawn Reed Foley. Is that a pitcher?
I've not heard of him.
He's a relief pitcher. He's got that bomb mustache for them.
Is he the one that does like the really weird
he does like the wind up?
Yeah. He looks like he's sitting when he's about to pitch.
Yeah, he's from Guam apparently.
Yeah.
It might have been like a military station thing or something. I don't know. I just see like Agana Heights GU. I think that's Guam. But yeah, I remember. Oh, they have Brad Hand too. I forgot about that. Oh,
yeah, they do. They do. He's been awful. He's like so bad for them.
Dude, the Blue Jays gave up people for him. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, but we're paying Drew Smiley $13 million a year, so.
Drew has so much more value than Brad Hand, though. Not $13 million worth of value, but
yeah, I'm just saying.
More.
Pitchers don't always work out like we intend.
Yeah. I think we got a whole lot more out of Charlie Morton than we were expecting, which there was an overpay.
I agree.
Right now,
and he's coming back next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not expect him to, especially like the first couple games he started this year. He's looking kind of poopy.
He was looking shaky.
But anyway, back to the series. Let's do a quick just review of the simulated game from July 21st. Duvall tied the game up for us, and then Will Smith, that made him angry. That made him so angry.
He said, "I don't want you to win this game. You flush those logs."
And he decided.
He got angry.
He decided, I'm just overwhelmed with rage right now. I can't believe that you tied this game up and you weren't on our team when we were playing that game in July. That I'm just gonna give Fernando just the easiest ball to hit.
Just the easiest ball to hit.
And then I'm gonna close out the rest of the players. We're gonna lose this game, and we're gonna lose it my way. And then he did, and then we did.
It's so sad. It's so sad. I mean, his Will Smith slider is really good. Like, I think we can all admit it. When it hits that bottom right corner, and when it's on, it's good. But like, he is just leaving so many in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And it's very clear to everyone in that stadium, especially the hitters, everyone watching, when he gives up on his fastball, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
I'm just gonna wait I'm just expecting breaking ball, and I'm just gonna find it. Let's put my bat a little underneath where I think it's gonna be, and then launch the shit out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because even that's funny. You're so right. Like you completely know when he's lost it,
Mm-hmm.
and he just keeps going back because he just keeps going back to that same spot. But if you make one mistake, it's over, and he's just done that so many times. Hasn't he blown like 4 saves in the past like 15 like appearances or something like that? It's
I think
crazy.
including that one, it was 5 in like his last 7 outings, or maybe a couple more than that.
You can't do that. We're so fucked if we go to the playoffs, and we're gonna have to play the Brewers. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to watch. The opposite of Will Smith with Josh Hader too. Literally the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
The exact opposite.
When I was watching that game and like Melanson started closing us out, I just like kept saying to myself, I was like, I just hope that Liberty Media executives are watching this game right now.
Yeah.
And that Brian Sticker's eyes are just like wide open. Just
like, how did that happen? I couldn't imagine. What the heck?
It's like, oh, but we're only paying. So I didn't know. I thought that the Will Smith deal was 2 years. So I made an Instagram post that was like saying, had a picture of him, and was like, for all the bad things about Will Smith, like I will say the one thing I love about his pitching is.
And then just let.
The thing I was gonna put is that he won't be here next year, and then I realized I went and looked up his contract. He's here for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a 3-year, $40 million contract.
Dude, what the fuck,
and
man?
Like the fact that he just scams his way.
You hit some and you miss them.
the fact that he has scammed his way into so many saves. Like if you're like just a casual baseball fan, especially if you're like in the AL and you don't know much about us and like you just see the number of saves that he has, you're like, that's a damn good closer.
Great. Yeah, that's great.
And
it's like what? He's almost 40 saves at this point. Like he's pretty fucking good.
I'm gonna look up saves leaders. Like, but then
pretty sure Melanson's at the top.
Yeah, I think
maybe Hader at this point.
Will got.
Hader's a beast.
Pretty close, because
just because the Padres have been sucking for so long.
But let's see. Saves. Melanson is still leading with 38, and Will Smith is 4th with 35. He is above Josh Hader.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah. Josh Hader is 34.
Think. Oh, okay, all right.
What?
35 and 34.
Yeah, but
they're right there.
But I'm just saying that he has more saves than Josh Hader.
He does.
Let's see how many. Where does it say blown saves in here? He's played in 68 games. Not every one of those was save opportunities.
Yeah.
You look at these ERAs. Mark Melanson 2.26, Kenley Jansen 2.30, Liam Hendricks 2.65, Will Smith 3.6, Josh Hader 1.27.
1.27. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, come on.
Raisel Iglesias with 33. He's got a 2.69.
Yeah. What's scary is Hader may not even be the best reliever on that team. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Our bullpen, we're definitely not Brewers level, but like our bullpen's really pulled it together, except that our worst reliever on the team is our closer.
Yep. Okay, so it says that Melanson and Hendricks actually have the same amount of blown saves as Will Smith.
That's stupid. That's
dumb. Very, very.
The world we live in, Griffin. The world we live in.
And they've all basically pitched the same amount of. God damn it! This is the problem because like I feel like all those like statistical whizzes in the back office are gonna look at that, and it's hard to make sense of it because it feels like he's put someone on base literally every time.
Yeah.
Or walks the leadoff hitter every other.
I think in the second half, I could just be pulling this out of my ass right now, but I'm pretty sure in the second half he's only had like 3 clean innings.
Yeah.
And then this is a side note, but I just looked at the leaders and holds. Luke Jackson is second, actually. He's got 29. Blake Treinen has 32. And then
yeah, dude, yeah. I mean, Luke Jackson's ERA is sub 2. I think.
And Matzek's at 5th, and Minter is 9th. Which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's really good. Minter at 9th. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I would not expect that.
He's had an interesting season. He's been solid all around. He's sitting at a 3.83 right now, and probably a whole one of that 3.83 comes from every game that he has pitched against the Marlins this year. I don't know why he loves giving them good pitches to hit, but he does. Anyway. Not a whole ton of hitting that game. We got it done in the first one, but like seeing Duvall and Riley. Riley had a great series. Probably the best players of this series would be Soler, definitely, Riley, and Eddie Rosario. Which time and time again, the trades that Alex Anthopoulos made, where he basically gave up just about nothing, are heavy contributors. I was watching the Red Sox Yankees game last night. And they were showing
great game.
Yeah,
great game.
They were showing the OPS of, like, the highest OPS of like trades, the individual players since getting to their new team, and because Kyle Schwarber has the highest OPS of any of those players, it's like 983 or something.
Schwarber, really?
Yeah, but at third and fourth are Soler and Duvall. And
that's amazing.
Got Soler for our 26th ranked prospect. And
absolute police.
Duvall for an awful catcher who has value somehow. I
remember going on Marlins Twitter after that, and even they were like, "Why the fuck did we just trade Adam Duvall for Alex Jackson?"
Yeah,
because sometimes you can see the silver lining in a prospect, but like Alex Jackson has showed at the major league level he cannot produce at all. Yeah.
And they still put him there because they needed somebody. That was almost like a depth move for them. Like, they just didn't have.
Yeah, it was weird.
Any catchers.
I mean, I was gonna say their catcher situation's pretty fucked, but even then, it just you gotta ask for Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith, we could have given you Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kevin Smith for you.
Kevin Smith for Duvall.
Kevin Smith is so bad.
But it's just funny because it's even Alex Jackson for Adam Duvall is just about the same amount of, like, I bet, like, Alex Jackson next year just proves everyone wrong somehow, and just because, I mean, he had 29 homers in AAA 2 years ago.
That's
so
pretty.
He
that's
clearly
good.
can do it, but then he got to the MLB and went 0 for like 29 or something.
Some Sandoval stats.
Mm-hmm. But
I think that at the moment during this season, Adam Duvall has more home runs than Alex Jackson has hits. And that's like all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
It's a big difference.
It's like a considerable amount. I think it's like high 30s to something. I think Alex Jackson has like 19 hits this season. I mean, granted, Duvall's playing more, but
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. For the amount of plate appearances he's had too, it should at least be close at the least. But game 2, the bullet points I had from this game were, just to list them off, like, Yanoa is looking less and less sharp still. It's been like a downward trend. Soler is one of our best players at this point. And Austin Riley should be top 3 in the MVP candidate race. I don't think he won't win for sure. I think Bryce Harper's kind of got it locked up at this point.
Yeah, he does.
And our bullpen is phenomenal. Other than Rich Rod had a technical clean inning, except for the walk, or he had a walk and a hit. But he is beginning to look more and more defective. Like, all of the outs that he got were just mashed to the warning track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And Will Smith had a really clean inning of work. I remember which play it was, but there was a play that went in our favor for replay review. I think it was it was someone running down the first base line. I don't remember which inning it was. It was 6th or 7th. Padres should have gotten a hit there, and I was glad that we were on the beneficial side of this, but it was just like, again, showing how worthless replay review is, because anyone could interpret from the angles that you had that he was clearly safe. Yet.
What are you going to do about it, though?
Yeah,
what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to sit here and wait for that guy with the gun to show up, probably.
Any moment now. Clock sticking.
But it just, like, it was just... replay review at this point is just a waste of 5 minutes, because it's just... I wish that they... I think it would make it more interesting and almost always more productive if they just didn't give the person the call that the umps made in the first place, because it's just every time it's like, I can't, like, we can't tell you 100%. We can tell you 99.99%.
And that's not good enough.
And that's not good enough. Yeah. So just go with what's on the field. I haven't seen a play overturned in a long time.
I hate to bring it up, but I think the quintessential or the essential replay blunder was the Bohm not touching home plate, and that has a chance. That has a chance to determine our season.
Yeah.
At this point, I know we were all kind of scared of it, but that also just shows like the magnitude. Like, the shit has like legitimate effects. You know, it might some more than others, but yeah, I've always said the same thing. Like, why have it if you're not going to overturn it? You can't be for sure, like, you know, positive.
And it's extra frustrating when you, like, I was watching this Braves game at the same time watching, like, some football games and stuff. You see, like, a play get changed, overturned in a football game, like, every single game, like, once a game.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah,
and I mean, sometimes those overturns happen, and then it's like, that was debatable, but you make the same kind of, like, refs are making debatable calls every single play that happens, every single time they throw a flag. Sometimes it's very obvious, and sometimes it's not. Like, it could be like, if they call a holding and then they, like, show a replay and it was just kind of weak or very unrelated to the play at hand, you can get frustrated all you want, like, but that's the call they go with. Similar, like, so it's a similar type of thing if they make a call and then they look at it and, like, this is most likely, it seems to, like, very apparent that this is the call that we should make, which is different than the one that we did. We're going to go with that. I feel like that should just be part of it. Because it's gone. You have more evidence at that point, too. Like, it doesn't have to be absolutely official. But there's no point if you're just looking for 100% undeniable evidence.
Yeah.
When most of these plays, like, there are certain times that you have angles and you just can't tell. I'm fine with sticking it with, you know, standing with the call. But you know that they have tons of angles that they're just not showing live either. Like, especially with the Bohm play, like,
There has to like one for the outfield or something. Yeah.
Well, it's just like the replays they were showing before they made the call. It was like, okay, he's most likely out, but you can't really tell. And then after the fact, they showed that angle of him clearly just not even touching the plate with his foot.
Yeah, it's like they're holding it
bounced over and just never. It's like directly over the plate and just never touched it. They didn't show that until after the fact.
Yeah.
So they had that angle, yet they still went with. They're like, oh, we can't.
They still use it.
But anyway, love the bullpen right now. Chris Barton isn't super reliable at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully he figures it out.
It'd be nice if he did. But Matzik, Jackson, Minter's looking solid right now. And something I put on our story during the game that I noticed that could be I saw as like a big concern with Noah is he was throwing almost exclusively sliders that inning that he gave up the grand slam, and that's his best pitch, and he was getting away with it some. Like, I think he struck out Tatis, but you can't do that. You can't throw one pitch as a starter like 10, 12 times in a row against somebody like Manny Machado.
You can't. He's gonna take one out. That's what he did.
And like, I was definitely seeing some runs coming off that. With 2 outs, I was just very hoping for him to ground into something. I felt like he was going to make contact. But I think there might be some cause for concern with Noah if he's only throwing sliders in crucial situations. I don't know if he just wasn't confident in his other pitches. I didn't pay enough attention in the first couple innings of work for him to see what exactly he was throwing in his sequences, but it was almost entirely sliders at the end.
Yeah.
Got him destroyed.
Yeah. I think he has one more start before the season ends. I believe it's not going to be in this series because we have Anderson, Morton,
and against the Mets.
But I think it's the Mets. I think he's going to start against them.
He's starting game 1.
So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I feel like he's kind of a momentum guy, kind of has his streaks, and if hopefully that game goes well and kind of carries him well into the postseason. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. The thing I'm concerned about too is the thing I was marking for concern when he was making some pretty decent starts since he came back from his injury was that he kept losing those starts, even though he didn't really deserve to. We just weren't giving him the production that he needed. I was worried that was going to affect his confidence, and kind of seems like that's happening. I would hope that it's that more than a mechanical issue, honestly. Maybe like if we get in the postseason, it'll give him a little time to refresh. But and then Soler getting 4 of the RBIs this game. He's just, when he is hot, he is just destroying baseballs, and he's not.
I love Soler, dude. I love Soler.
He's not a purely home run hitter. He can just he's been able to spray the ball all over the place. But that pitch that he hit the home run off too was a changeup down and away, and he's
just a man. Yeah. he's just a man. Like he just launches balls. It's crazy.
And
I mean, the pitch was a very unassuming pitch, and he just took advantage of it.
It was a quality pitch, and like that's the type of pitch that a normal hitter gets the best swing they can on it, and it's just like you hit it opposite field liner or something. The fact that he was able to, he was like hunched over too to reach over for the ball, and to put it like 400 feet is just insane.
Yeah. He's super impressive.
But it was 420 feet in the 6th, and then he hit that that double.
They hit the double in extras, which, like you said, that's a game we lose.
In the first
half of the season, but because of the acquisitions like Soler, it's just so much more impressive.
Yeah.
And it almost it was scary watching Will Smith pitch that last inning, but he worked super well as well.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little more faith in our extra inning abilities.
Game 3 had some very reminiscent feel to the last game of the Diamondback series, where it just seemed very controlled, and then all of a sudden Jacob Webb comes in.
Yeah, just fucking lost it, dude.
Like I said earlier, when I went back and looked at the replay, I didn't watch that part of the game because I had to go do some professional stuff and play kickball.
Very professional.
But he had a clean first inning. I don't understand why he got thrown back out there for another 2/3. Snicker.
It's a weird decision. Yeah, very Snicker.
He let him stay in that whole time too, and just keep racking up pitches and keep dishing out hits.
It's like there's no one. I know there are some instances where you throw a reliever in there to like eat up innings or just kind of get shelled, and it's like, okay, at least you're saving our pitching staff. But like we were up by 3 runs in a must-win game.
Mm-hmm.
There is no excuse to leave a reliever out there.
He could have pulled him out with 1 run. He could have pulled him out with 2 runs. He could have pulled him out before he gave up the first run. And then you have Minter clean up and throw 2 pitches.
Yeah, exactly. And Jacob Webb is clearly the guy that's a type of guy that gets rattled in like relief situations, which you don't love from a reliever, but the writing can be on the wall sometimes. So like take him out. Recognize when it's starting to go downhill. I don't know why Snicker can kind of just sit on his hands sometimes when it comes to that.
I think unlike I make a lot of comparisons to Kevin Cash. But like, unlike awesome. Him, he cares more about like the game and the integrity of the game, and like they're just kind of like winning, I guess. And Snicker is more like he seems very traditional in how he subs people out a lot of the time. Like he doesn't want to he wants them to man up and like take their opportunity, like it's their game. Like there's a lot of the times where you had like Matzik in game. Yeah, it was this game. Came back in after getting the last out for Rich Rod, and then started that inning, and Chip made a point. That's master reflex there.
Nice.
Chip made a point about it's like this is a Matzik game. We have no one warming up in the bullpen, and then Matzik walks a guy and didn't throw a strike for like 6 straight pitches, and then all of a sudden Luke Jackson's warming up in the pen. I don't really like how Snicker manages the bullpen a lot of the times this year, which is gonna bite us in the ass somehow in the postseason if we get there. Just have to wait and see. I remember his greatest blunder. If we do get in the postseason, or if we don't, either way, I'm planning on posting some videos of me directly after Game 5.
That was so funny.
I said I would drink as many beers as AJ Minter had strikeouts, and he ended up with 7 in 3 innings, and I was not expecting that. And so I was a little talkative.
Yeah. Oh my god, that Minter game was unbelievable. He just like gets the start out of nowhere, does that, and then
first time he pitched since 2016, like started.
That was when he was in college, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I was in Mississippi State or Texas A&M.
but talk about putting Will Smith, who was known for last year also giving up home runs. He'd only given up 11 runs that year for which he pitched in half of that season. But 8 of those 11 runs were off of home runs, and it was just Will Smith versus Will Smith. There is clearly a better Will Smith.
There's we know which one's gonna win. We absolutely know who's gonna win.
I was just shitting my pants, and then that ball just started flying, and I was like, "Yep, we lost a game that we should have won, and then would have gone to the World Series." And then
little did we know we were gonna lose.
It's like, oh, we got 2 games left. We can do it.
It's fine. We'll win one of them, surely.
But yeah, then he comes in this game, seeing 3 walks and 3 Ks on a stat line.
It's
so confusing.
And no runs.
Yeah,
that's the cherry on top. You can't. What? He had 31 pitches. He pitched the ball 31 times in that inning.
We got definitely bailed out by the ump. I mean, it was a borderline pitch, and for both of those,
for both the first 2 strikeouts.
The graphic is not always right, on the screen, where you see it called a ball or a strike or something. It's usually very close. And it was a 50-50 pitch, but I mean, if I saw that happen to us, I would be livid. But
it was. I mean, and you don't have the eyes of the umpire, obviously, but it can come down to framing. The balls just go so fast, But obviously, you're an umpire; you're supposed to be able to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched that and I was like, "Ooh, I would have been mad if I was a Padres fan."
And it's it didn't even really matter for them, but it's just about pride at this point, which is all they've had for. But they haven't had very much, but just all they've had for this stretch.
They crushed it.
I know Will Smith's going to be out on the mound for another closing situation. It's going to happen in the Phillies series, and I'm going to lose my mind, and then he's going to scramble to get a save somehow, and then he's going to be top 3 in saves at the end of this year, and just, the fact that he's among the Braves since 2000 who have 30 saves, and it's your name is alongside Craig Kimbrell and John Schultz. And there's one other guy. It's just such cheese. That is the most cheese shit ever. But anyway, Will, you wanna lead us through the Phillies series real quick, just what they did and their usual garbage.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I was texting someone at the same time.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you're very involved with this podcast, Will, and you really care.
So they took 3 of 4 from the Pirates. Freddie Galvez, in particular, I just had to highlight him.
Yeah.
He had a very interesting series. He went 0 for 13.
Oh.
So he's rocking out.
Good Lord. Now. Good fucking Lord. You cannot do that.
And then Bryce Harper, of course, was hitting it really well. But I was looking into their pitchers because I was curious how their top guys have been doing, because that's what, besides Bryce Harper and hitting, that's what they're known for, is the starting pitching at least. And it's interesting because most recently, Aaron Nola's been really bad, really bad. He gave up 6 runs to the Pirates. And then he's given up 3 runs twice and another 6, all in the past 4 out of 5 games. And then Kyle Gibson has also been pretty rough. He's given up 4, then 3, then 4, then 3, then 8.
God, isn't he at a 4.8 right now or something?
Good Lord, yeah, that's really bad.
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. He's at a 3.6. Nola's at a 4.2. Wheeler's been good, but that's a good sign for coming into the series because, I mean, that's, of course, who they're going to play. I think it goes Morton and Fried and then Anderson. So the Braves they really just need two. Like if they get two, then it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
And it's good to see like two of their top three guys like really going through it right now, and then like their big slugger Freddie isn't really producing all that much. So
Freddie Galvez.
Yeah.
They're just other than the Cardinals, I think they're the worst team that is just even considered to go to the postseason right now. The Cardinals, just give them a
what
little.
Are they doing?
Give them
what
a
are
little.
They doing?
They're vile. They're just vile, dude.
Like
they are.
They're gross.
Like
creatures.
I've said, I'm gonna say it every single series until the postseason happens. Like I told you, Will. They were gonna use their blood magic. There were blood magic rituals happening at Busch Stadium every single night. Every single night.
I'm not.
They're like what? Is it 16 in a row? They're at 16 in a row right now.
16 in a row.
16
franchise record. Franchise record.
Oh,
16. So 16 games
ago. I don't want to hear it.
16 games ago, they were 2 games above 500. They were 2 games above 500.
That's insane. What's the longest streak? 22? 23? 22?
23.
I think it's 22.
No, it's 20, I think it's 22. 23. Yeah, the Indians.
Yeah. They made a whole movie about it, Sam. Go watch it.
No, the A's. A's were
you dumb
20.
bitch.
The A's were 21, and then the Indians did 22 a few years ago. Get dunked on. Get dunked on. So the Cardinals could reach that. I mean, do they have that? That's a fun thing to watch if Braves go south, but
I think they
hopefully
have 6
not.
games left.
So they could tie it. Gotta be so fun if they lost, though.
I don't know. I don't like them.
Yeah, they got Brewers.
I don't like talking about that, Griffin. I really don't. You keep bringing it up every single time.
It's because it's part of the postseason discussion.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
For those who are new and don't know, Will is a natural Reds fan, and they pooped their pants for the last 3 weeks, and then the Cardinals just shoved it down their mouth. All the poop.
The Cardinals really
had one of those things.
The Reds really had a 1, 2, 3, 4 of Jonathan India, Jesse Winker, Nick Castellanos, and Joey Votto, and they could not make the playoffs. Like that might be the best.
In all fairness, Winker was out for about a month and a half.
Yeah, okay.
So that we were missing him for like the entire time.
Do you know that? Do you know who the NL Player of the Week was for this past week? It's Harrison Bader.
Tyler O'Neill.
Harrison Bader.
That guy.
I hate Harrison Bader.
That guy. Dude, I can't stand that guy.
He's so
bad.
He's so bad.
He's not good.
I think he's got to be like in the middle of these blood rituals or something.
No, he's not.
He's got to be.
I see. Yeah, he has to be.
Like, he had no value with his bat, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to just hit 517 this week.
3 home runs.
He had an OPS of like 1,300 or maybe 1,500.
No, it's 1,500, 15 hits. 15 hits in 1 week. That's
stupid. That's so stupid. Oh, man.
Harrison. And then Paul Goldschmidt. Also, obviously, also the Cardinals. 375, 1339 OPS, 12 hits, 5 home runs, same span of time.
We swept them in like early August after they had made after the trade deadline. And it was and they were talking about like, it was an ESPN game and they were talking about like their playoff hopes, and I was like, just stop.
Yeah.
No. And then like they traded for Jay Happ and John Lester, and that was all they got.
We won.
That's all. Old ass like. Yeah.
Out of our 16 games against them, we won 11.
And then y'all decided to lose a bunch.
What more could we do?
Let me go look at the Reds.
I don't like talking about it. I don't like talking about
I like talking about it.
Do you like talking about it?
I don't like talking about it.
So
also, are we at the hour mark yet?
Yeah.
We're
a little over.
Reds, since their series with St. Louis in August 30th, they lost. One of those games got postponed, but they lost 2 out of the 3 that were played. And then loss. They lost a series to Detroit, lost a series to Chicago, lost a 3-game series to St. Louis, lost a series to Pittsburgh, lost a series to Los Angeles, lost another, or tied for the postponed game with Pittsburgh, went 1-1 with them, won a series against Washington, and now the postponed game against Pittsburgh they won, and I mean it doesn't even matter for yeah. Y'all pooped your pants.
Hunter Green, baby.
Pooped your pants, get it?
Hunter Green.
Hunter
Green.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Green.
It's always next year. It's always next year.
Hunter
Which is
Green.
basically what we're going to be saying after the Brewers series, but there's always next year.
Yeah, as someone who's had to play that team like 16 or 18 times now, it's awful. I mean, it's fucking terrible. I hate playing those guys.
They're really good.
I'm obviously cheering for the Braves, and I think the Braves are a better team than the Reds, but I mean, still. I mean, I think Votto called them, and this is a big deal. I mean, it's Votto. He called them the greatest pitching staff he's ever gone against, by far. So, it's just like...
Yeah, there's a real chance of us just getting swept, but if our bats are hot, I mean, we attacked Burns. We scored 4 on him in the first inning last time we played him.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Just got to get there. That's really how the playoffs are. It's like the Nationals 2 years ago. They were not the best team. Not even close. Barely snuck their way in the wild card. And then Trent Grisham handed them a wild card win. And then helped take the wild card away from the Padres. But I was kind of thinking, I remember they made a big deal about Gerardo Parra being like the bench bat energy that helped lead the Nationals to the World Series, and like dugout energy and whatever. I hope that's Heredia. I hope that's Heredia for.
I really hope it is too. God, I can't believe we're doing all this without Acuna.
I know. Yeah.
Like Acuna has not been a topic.
It really goes to
podcast.
It really goes to show you how shitty the NL is. I mean, dude, there is no excuse for the New York Mets that they couldn't do it, especially after Acuna goes down. I mean, there's just no way. Like, oh my god.
Even the Phillies, man. Like the Mets had a lot of injuries, but the Phillies, like, there's actually no excuse.
Acuna was still top 10 in WAR in the NL until August.
Until like
until like late August.
It's crazy.
That's
nuts. And he was a top WAR on our team and had led our team in home runs up until like early August or something too. But yeah, I have a industrial econ test that is happening tomorrow that I don't know much about, and we have a study session that I thought I was going to go to. I don't know if I'm going to go to it anymore. That's my life in a nutshell.
How's everyone else's life? Well, how's your life?
God, I hope
I'm supposed to go eat at a Mexican restaurant at 7 though, so that's taking priority over study sessions.
I hope your parents watch this podcast to see what they're paying for.
I didn't go. Well, I didn't go to a class. It was one of those that he put everything online and I just went to the class for tests. That was freshman year, second semester. I didn't go to it once. I didn't tell my mom that I didn't go to it until after the semester was over and I had an A.
Hell yeah, that's great. That's great.
But yeah, college is a waste of money. We'll start another podcast talking about that. All right. Well, go Braves. Phillies series is gonna be huge. I hate the Phillies.
Reds.
I don't like the Phillies.
Reds.
Go Reds.
I don't like them at all. Go Reds.
The
Phillies
are quite stupid, in my opinion. I think that they are dumb.
The city of St. Louis. Fuck every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. I know, Will.
That's all I have to
We
say.
know. I have two friends here who are Cards fans, technically, and they just every time they just keep talking to me, they're like, "Man, we just won another one in a row." I'm like, "I don't care. I don't care about the Cardinals."
When I visit and I meet them, I may just deck them the first time I see them. I have a feeling I'm a bigger guy than both of them, so
I have a neighbor. I don't remember if I've met her.
I'm gonna set the
not,
tone with them.
But she, like, her car is parked right next to it. She only has one sticker on her car, and it's a Cardinals sticker.
Oh,
wow!
Just set it on fire.
Slash those tires.
We're gonna slash them. I'll do it for Braves country. I'll do it for Braves country. I'll do it for the culture. The culture.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, this concludes the episode. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter.
Shopcast.
Yeah. Follow us around again.
Follow me.
Or
do I could use
some hugs or something.
Some
attention. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's the thing. All right.